Hi, I guess I'm live. So glad you guys could join me, whoever's here right now, and whoever's going to join us in the future. I think there's one person on. If you can tell me if you can hear me. Okay, I don't have my headphones in, and I'm actually just no makeup, done with the weekend, and ready to actually turn in after this. So I really appreciate that you are here or you are coming when you get here. I wanted to get on, I like to get on here um, at the beginning of the new week whenever I can, because I think it's so important to be able to really set energy with you to help me, and also to help you, help me, help us as a community to set our energy for the following week, or for the week that we're stepping into. So I wasn't planning to do this today, but in typical 3-5 profile fashion, here I am. I was out mowing my orchard today, and we have this high-powered mower that supposedly goes really fast, but when I mow, it takes me so much longer because every single time I see a bumblebee, and I would do it for the crickets too if there weren't so many of them, I have to slow down and wait for the bumblebee to leave the flower that I'm about to mow over. So, I should have one of those little bumper stickers on my lawnmower that says I break from bumblebees. But as I was out there, with the white noise of the machinery, and just kind of clearing my head, waiting for the bumblebees to get out of the way, I really started to get inspired by bumblebees, and really started to think about my weekend, reflecting on my weekend, because for those of you who don't know, I have an orchard, or my husband and I have an Asian pear orchard, and uh, we go to the farmer's market, or I've been going to the farmer's market. He's not home right now, but I've been going to the farmer's market with a very good friend of mine. We're both in our element there. And as I've been building, or creating this business and the branding around it, the tagline has turned out to be enhancing the enhancing the sweetness of life with Asian pears. And I was thinking about how, as I was reflecting on the weekend, and how sweet it was to be at the farmer's market, and to be in my true environment, or my human design environment of narrow valleys. My friend, I think her environment is internal markets, and that's more about working from home and doing a transaction. And narrow valleys is more about people coming by in a highly concentrated area, and you exchange information. I was thinking about how both of us are really in our element, because she's taking the money. People are coming to us. She's taking the money, even though it's not her home. And for me, I'm doing the talking and the networking and the educating about how our Asian pears are low glycemic index and are really good for you. And only a pound of pears only has 13 net carbs, and they're really hydrating, and on and on and on. And, and I pick up information from our neighbors. I've been meeting all of our neighbors. It's really been pretty cool. And as I was driving on my lawnmower today, I was thinking about these bees, these bumblebees in particular, and how what I really feel from their energy. I was thinking also about, well, if a bumblebee is your animal totem, what does that mean? So I looked it up, and I'm going to share that with you if I can get to that page. But when I tap, we have like a whole, I don't know what you call it, a hive of bumblebees, or family, or I don't know what you call a group of bumblebees. If anybody knows, let me know. Um, they live in the door of our pump house, of our for our well, and we've been very careful not to disturb them. And as the fruit has come in and it has started to ripen, well, first, before the fruit ripened, we have passion flowers just spontaneously growing and spreading in our orchard. And I noticed that they were all over there having a party on the passion flowers, just drinking up the nectar and, just relentless about just taking in all of that sweetness. And, I looked at him, I'm like, oh gosh, bumblebees really know how to party. And every time I see them, I get inspired. And then when our fruit started coming in and some of it falls off the tree and stuff, and they're on it like it's a buffet or something. I don't know, but they're relentless. And when I looked up the Bumblebee animal totem, let me see if I can find that for you. Let's see. And I won't read all of this. If you want to look at it, it's called, I got it from shamanicjourney.com. So I just scrolled down to what looked relevant. All bees are productive. Oh, let me back up a little. Okay. Those with this power animal more often than not have strong past life connections to the ancient secrets of longevity and can benefit from yoga. And they also make good hypnotherapists. That's actually related to what was above it. Some yogi masters are able. This one is talking about how they keep warm in the winter and all of that. But I really didn't want to go into that. Let me scroll down. All bees are productive. They stay focused on whatever they are doing and do not get sidetracked from their goal. Their legs are one of their most sensitive organs. They actually use them to taste. We are being reminded by the bee to slow down, to smell the flowers, and taste the nectar of life. Those with this power animal may have hypoglycemia and diabetes, hence regular exercise and good nutrition is advisable. The bumblebee is a highly important pollinator of many plants. They hold the power of service. When landing upon a flower to collect its nectar, pollen also attaches itself to the leg. This is then passed on to other flowers, creating a fertilization process. Their movement from one plant to plant represents the interconnectedness of all living things. The bumblebee is a messenger bringing the secrets of life and service. So, and if your power animal and your energy, if this is your power animal and your energy is scattered, the bumblebee can show you how to become focused once more. I thought that was really powerful for the I just read your thing, Judy, got distracted. I'll come back to that. Really powerful for starting a new week. And, and as I was reflecting on the sweetness of life that we're enhancing through our orchard, and how much we really rely on our pollinators to bring us fruit, and how blessed we are to have a whole family or hive or whatever you call it of bees living in the door of our pump house, and really truly enjoying the sweetness that is offered to them through the passion flowers, through the fruit, and when I really tap into that energy of how they fly around, and some of the things that comes to mind, also the characteristics of the bumblebee is, the bumblebee is, they don't know that they can't fly, that they're not engineered to fly. And they also, as I can tell, they love sweets. So therefore, they get really intensely focused on that sweetness. and it's like they almost get drunk on the sweetness that they're taking in, I guess, through their legs, and then as they bumble off flying, because they don't know that they're not engineered to fly, they carry that pollen to pollinate other flowers to create even more sweetness. So, oh, and Judy, you're saying, wonder why B is the gene key for 44. That's probably a little deeper than we want to get tonight, but that's a good conversation starter for those of us who have the gate 44 in our charts. Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's because of 44 is about recognizing who is right for your tribe, or who you are, who in your tribe you can bring in, or convince, or inspire. I hate to use the word manipulate, or sell, sell or manipulate. I think uh, it's somewhere in the human design lingo, it's about manipulating into coming together to create material success. So when flowers bloom and orchards produce fruit, there's that material, the blossoming of the material success. So I'm wondering how you can be inspired by this week, by the bumblebee and the sweetness that the bumblebee is engaged in, that intense focus of being in the sweetness and flying off and spreading that sweetness, spreading the potential for sweetness everywhere. Why don't we just do a quick focusing meditation kind of a thing. I think I'm going to call these vlogs, these things that I do like this that are impromptu, I think I'm going to call them something like edu healing blog, or edu healing vlogs, or something like that. Anyway, let's do that and get comfortable where we are. Take some deep breaths. With all this sweetness I've been kind of drunk on over the last couple of days, I'm also pretty tired physically, being the projector that I am. So if you're feeling kind of tired, even if it's from doing things that are creating sweetness in your life, or where you're absorbing sweetness, it's okay. This is a place where you can come and just be and bring in some more, let go of what you need to let go of, so that you can bring in some more sweetness that will sustain you and uplift you. So just breathe and rest your wings for a while. And we don't taste through our legs like the bumblebees do, but we smell through our nose, we taste through our mouth. So I want you to just take a few seconds here to imagine, and this is good because the gate 44, as Judy pointed out, is related to the bumblebee. And the gate 44 is also about being able to smell things, sniff out the right people, smell a rat if you're living that side of that expression. So let's just tap into that in terms of not rats, but in terms of the sweetness of flowers, of fruit. And see if you can just conjure up that sweetness as you inhale. Maybe you can taste it in your mouth. But if you continue to focus on maybe something that you no smells sweet or tastes sweet. See if you can just bring that into your being. And let that sweetness just circulate through your body, fill up your heart. And I always feel when I'm bringing in sweetness or focusing on something like that, it feels to me like gratitude in my heart. Gratitude and joy. Don't focus so much on the thought of gratitude and joy. Focus on really building up that scent of sweetness in your imagination and send that into your heart as a place where you can store it for the coming week. And as it fills up your heart, let it pour over into all of your cells and into your energy field, into your aura, so that you are filled up with sweetness and overflowing with it for the coming week. And now imagine that bumblebee with that furry, round body and those little wings, happily, joyfully focused on that sweetness, moving from flower to flower, from fruit to fruit, taking it all in, not having a clue that they're not engineered according to the outside world. They're not engineered to fly. And what would it be like if, even if you're holding some heaviness inside of you, that can be emotional heaviness or mental heaviness or stress or whatever. What would it be like if you were like that bumblebee and you just abandon yourself to the joy of what you're focused upon that is so sweet that you are flying around to the point where you don't even realize or remember or know that you're supposed to be weighed down by all of this stress, because you don't have to be. The bumblebee isn't. What would it be like to just rise above it, even if you're still working through stuff, and to carry yourself joyfully from thing to thing, even if you right now are in that place where it's a little heavy, and continue to imagine that sweetness, especially if that heaviness kind of brought you down. Take some deep breaths and imagine that you're smelling that sweetness and bringing it into your body, and allow that to metaphorically lift you off the ground. Maybe that's what does it for the bumblebee. I really do think they get drunk on all of that nectar. Not that we have to go through our week inebriated, but maybe high on joy. And another thing I've heard about bumblebees is that they're interdimensional creatures. Now, I don't know that for sure because I haven't been in whatever other dimension they may go to. I just heard that. And it made me think when I remembered that about how we are interdimensional creatures. Not all of our reality is here. And perhaps the bumblebee flits back and forth between dimensions depending on, where the most sweetness is, where the party is, where the joy is. And for us, we can actually stay focused in this dimension, in that sweetness and that joy, and bring through that energy from other dimensions that matches us and supports us in that. We do it when we've had a good night's sleep. We do it when we are in the dream state. We do it when we're absorbed in something that is calling all of our attention, whether it be meditation or art or music. A part of us, our consciousness, is experiencing another dimension. So I just want to plant that seed. Maybe that's what makes the bumblebee, who's not engineered in the third dimension, in its three-dimensional body to fly. Maybe that's that interdimensional support allows the bumblebee to fly here. And maybe that interdimensional support can support us in flying as well. Even when our earthbound experience feels restrictive and heavy. So let's take some deep breaths. Still smelling the sweetness. Maybe getting a little high on that sweetness that we're calling in. Let's just intend to open up those channels of sweetness in those other dimensions where our consciousness lives. And on our inhales, just bring through or intend to bring through that enhanced support, that enhanced joy from all of those places that we cannot see from where we are focused right now. And as you breathe, just allow that to lift your energy even more into joy. And when you're ready, just come back into your body. I think that's going to do it for me tonight. I'm kind of flying around a little. Judy, I thank you for joining me. It was great to have you here, flying with me tonight, with the inspiration of our Bumblebee friends. And I hope that you, Judy, and whoever else has joined, I know a few people have come in and out, and whoever else joins us um, whenever the time is right for them. I hope everybody is able to carry this sense of joy and lightness into your week, and this sense that you are supported by the sweetness of life. And I really want to challenge you or encourage you this week to engage in at least one thing, one inspired action that allows you to uh, feel more of that sweetness in your life, that allows you to focus more on the sweetness that's available to you. So, I want to remind you guys that I'm going to be doing a free class here on YouTube, a free live stream class on YouTube. I have a couple of polls on the community tab. If you want to go and take the polls, it looks like most people are interested in a class on deconditioning with maybe some emphasis on uh, decision-making authority. I'm going to try to keep it light. That's actually a pretty uh, kind of a structured thing to do, and maybe a little over-structured. It requires a little bit more structure than a YouTube live stream, but I'm putting some thoughts in that. I'll breathe in some sweetness around that and see how that goes. But probably going to do that after we hit 1,200. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I think we're about five subscribers away from 1,200. And if you are, you know, if you want to share this, share this. And then I got off on the flight of the Bumblebee. Sweetness of life, when you're really looking at your blueprint can show you or open and allow you to, oh, we're disconnected. Oh, I guess we're on now. I think we disconnected for a moment. It allows you to feel more of the sweetness in your life. And I guess that's when we do our free when I do my class here on YouTube on deconditioning and authority, that's really going to help a lot of you, I think, in getting clear about how you do actually align and what you are doing in this process of deconditioning. And if you have a strategy to wait, in this sweetness part, living in the sweetness now is what you're doing while you're waiting. And it uplifts you and it moves you from thing to thing and allows you to align and be buoyant and be in that joy, so that as you attract or respond or attract invitations, those invitations and that the things that you're responding to are going to get sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And for those of you who are reflectors, that that waiting period it's so important to be in that sweetness, because you will see all kinds of aspects of that sweetness throughout those moon cycles. So I think that's it for tonight. It has been a long week and a long weekend for me, and I'm looking forward to next week or Monday. So I have to get some rest tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And there will be more to come next week. Good night.